Yo guys, just wanted to give you a little update on the Volvorado and a little more, some things I got going on around the garage. A little cold out here, so my nose is dripping a little bit, so oh, here comes the snow. I don't know if you can see it, but the snow's starting to come. Anyways, but want to give you guys a little bit of an update about some things I got going on in the shop and the Volvo itself. So where should I start? The Volvo itself is fine. I ended up selling the BorgWarner S475 just because it was too large for me to fit, and I know I'll get crap for, oh, you can make it fit, whatever. It was too large for me to fit in this area without plasma cutting the frame rail and like the wheel well out, and I don't want to do that. I know it's not a show car, but the last car I had was, you know, 5-inch whole saw McGillicuddy, and you know, I just kind of got a little carried away with that car. I really don't want to go down that road again. So I'd like to try to keep this thing as stock looking as possible and appearing without, you know, butchering into the car like tremendously. So I unloaded the S475 and actually bit the bullet and purchased a billet BorgWarner S369, the 1AR hot side. This is a 6-liter, so it is kind of like pushing the borders of efficient, I guess I should say, or some people say, if you depending on how you take things on the internet. I've had a whole bunch of people say that the 369 will be fine on like a mild street, you know, 5.3 or 6-liter, but you know, if you wanted something more power than like 550 or 600, it's actually you know, running into the limits of the hot side and the wheel sizes. So we're gonna give it a go. You know, it should be a heck of a lot easier to fit in there. The hot side is a divided T4 rather than a 132 AR T6. So that in and of itself will make things a little bit easier to work with. You know, the radiator fits in there. That's the driver's side hot parts that I took off when I was doing something. I can't remember what it was. But that's kind of why I haven't been posting any updates. So currently I got the balancer back on. I know you can't see that because it's dark in there, but trust me, it's back on. And that's pretty much how it sits right now. I got Shannon's harness just laying on top of the intake. That shouldn't take too long to install, so I just threw it up there. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, just trying to clean up the shop before I get started again. I kind of get carried away and make a huge mess when I work, so trying to clean off the workbench and clean up the floors a little bit. Sometimes it kind of gets on my nerves that I'm like tripping and kicking stuff. And you know, I have an oversized 2-car garage, but I got a lot of shit in here. Like, you know, I got 2 bikes. My workbench is pretty big. You know, I got a wood stove. You know, just stuff that you know, in the grand scheme of things, takes up room as you go. But anyways, back to the car. Like I said, hopefully the turbo will be here this week. I'll get some stuff done on there. Waiting on a battery to come. I got the relocation kit already ran up to the front here. You know, I mean, it's not terribly far off. It's not like I'm at ground zero. I mean, the rear's in the car, drive shaft's in, trans is in, motor's in. It's just kind of like ticky-tacky stuff, I guess, even though it's, to somebody else, it'd kind of be a lot. I mean, putting making a hot side really shouldn't be too bad. I mean, I'm halfway there already, so once I get that done, we'll just see where I'm at. And oh, and something else I wanted to show you guys as I was cleaning up my workbench today. I did a video on my DeWalt Portaband, not so Portaband stand. I used a couple LSX mount plates just because I paid 20 bucks for them and I couldn't give them away. I had a friend give me a piece of square tubing, and I got some Tractor Supply L brackets that I cut and welded, and basically you just take the handle off and run it through the hole, and then you have like an upright bandsaw. Something I wanted to do was take these off, take these two bolts off and make kind of like a tabletop a little bit, just because like when you're cutting tubing, you kind of want to have something to lay it on, so it's semi-straight cut. I mean, it's a bandsaw is nice and precise, but I mean there's still somewhat deflection in a blade depending on how hard you jump on it or whatever. But one thing I wanted to show you guys, I don't think I made a video on this yet, but once I got the bandsaw stand or whatever, I went to Harbor Freight, and they sell, hold on, I think I threw the box over here. Yep. Do a bench top review, another piece of shit Harbor Freight tool. It's a foot switch, on off. You basically just plug the item into the pedal, and the pedal into the wall, and then you have it on off. It's kind of neat. I wanted to try it. Some of my other Harbor Freight reviews include the shitty blue swivel vise that I tried to clamp something in and it just broke off. I got another vise, just haven't gotten to replacing this one yet, so I'll look forward to that once my vise is ready to go. But back to this, the foot switch, kind of neat. I don't want to say that this was flawless out of the box, because it wasn't. I'd be lying. It comes packed like that. Part number 96618. They make this, and they make this one and a one that you put your foot on, and you have to hold your foot on it and then take your foot off to shut it off. So they make two different versions of it, but I opted for this one just because I don't want to deal with that. So when I got it, it wasn't working, and I couldn't figure out why. Everyone's like, oh, take it back, blah, blah. Well, I almost took it back, but I took it apart and noticed that the solder joint going from the switch to the power was like dangling on by two strands of the wire. So I ended up kind of pulling it apart and adding some solder to the joint, because even with a multimeter, like, it was checking out that it was working, but I guess the current was going through it, but the amperage wasn't going through it. So I took it apart, like I said, reapplied some solder, heat shrinked it again, and it seems to work fine now. But basically all you have to do is, take a clamp or whatever, a zip tie the trigger down, and then, like I said, run the cable or the wire into the top of the switch, like that, and then the foot pedal into your outlet. So basically you just click it runs, kick it, and it's off. So it's pretty neat. I don't know, I just mounted it today. Don't really have any other places to mount it. I didn't want to lay it on top of the workbench, so just kneeing it or kicking it or even using my hand will be fine. So I don't know, that's pretty much what I got going on. Like I said, still waiting on some parts to get started again. I'm gonna have to buy a new fuel sending unit. I broke this one trying to get it in. The whole rheostat, or however you pronounce it, for the gauge, like, busted apart, and I had to fish it out of the tank with a coat hanger. And I've been to 3 junkyards so far, and every single one that I look at are brittle beyond belief, to the point like where I try to take the hoses off and these little tubes that come out just fall apart. So found them on eBay, basically brand new, and they're like 50 bucks. I know it's 50 bucks, but I want to have a working working gauge and whatnot. I will have to shorten this up this time, I noticed, because this was kind of like what the problem was. I had Diano Fab and machine weld, or actually braze this dash 8 onto the feed portion of the sending unit, but it's sticking out too far to actually gain access to like where it has to go in. So I'll probably have to cut it right as it flares out and push it back a little bit farther, and then maybe cut this in half on the bandsaw so it's not, you know, protruding and causing a clearance issue. But that's pretty much it. I have the pump and everything, and it's just ready to go in. It's just I foobarred that, and you know, I don't want to put it in and not have a working gas gauge and have to take it out again. That would really piss me off. So, you know, as I was at the junkyard, I was looking for stuff, and I couldn't find anything that was good. So, that's where we're at. Just probably spend another few minutes cleaning up the area so I can start again once everything shows up, and go from there. Like I said, not too much going on. You know, a little view inside the Volvo. It's got blue pleather interior. All the seats are great. This whole business is flipped up because that's how you gain access to the fuel sending unit. Front of the car, again, same deal. Like, it's mint. It's a little dirty now. It's been like sitting and collecting dust, but for the most part, it's just, you know, the seats are perfect. Dash is cracked, but that's pretty much normal. Gonna try using the stock shifter. I'll probably have to modify the factory Volvo linkage to work down on the 4080, which shouldn't be too bad. I mean, I really don't want to spend the money on like a $400 shifter. I don't know. Like, I guess if I had the money, I would just put a shifter in it, but it's just a lot of money to spend on a shifter. I mean, I could always probably put like a Blazer shifter in it or something, which would probably work just as well. But I'll see how it goes with the factory the shifter assembly, and then you know, make my decision based upon that. So that's pretty much all I got for now. I'll keep you guys posted on what's going on. Stay tuned to the Volvorado Facebook page. I'll update pictures, videos, and ramblings. We'll go from there. That's it. That's all I got for you guys, and stay tuned. Thanks.